ADISRA recently released version 4037 of the ADISRA SmartView Scada software. In this video, we're going to cover all of its major new features, starting with the new cache system. This new feature, when enabled, the user can define whether the graphics will be loaded and kept in memory on demand or pre-cached. This offers new possibilities to improve browsing performance and overall user experience. The cache can be configured individually on screens that will be opened as dialogues or directly on screen and tab objects that will navigate through different screens. Thus, if all navigation is done on a screen object, for example, the user does not need to enable the cache for each of the screens that will be opened on the screen object. On the contrary, the configuration will be done directly on the screen object that indicates these screens. By default, applications will not have the impact of previous versions, but if the user wants to gain navigation performance when opening screens, it is now possible to configure the cache option for graphics. Read only from the screen. With this new resource, if enabled, only the addresses of the tags that are on the open screen will be read, minimizing unnecessary readings and consequently increasing communication performance. Template library. Now it is possible to use pre-developed templates, such as indicators, bar graphs, gauges, and others. In this way, making it easier and faster to use repetitive objects. Reset layout. A new button called Reset Layout has been added in the View tab. This button returns the engineering environment layout to the default layout. Momentary button. A new button type has been added in the command button. It is now possible to set the button to momentary. Then, whenever this button is pressed or not pressed, a value will be set in the defined tag. Opening CSV in data grid. Another new feature is opening a CSV file in the data grid object. With this new resource, it is possible to visualize and edit fields of a CSV file through the data grid and also use it in a report document. Importing tags from PLCs Siemens, Rockwell, and TwinCat. This feature allows you to automatically import tags created in PLCs, making integration much easier and faster. Modbus driver with function 23. New Modbus driver 23. This driver has function 23 of the Modbus protocol. This function allows performing a combination of a reading and writing operation in a single Modbus transaction. New listbox object. With this new object, it is possible to insert a list box on the screen in which the user can type a value directly or select a value from the displayed list. New features in sending emails. Now, in the email settings window, it is possible to define the user. It is also possible, using the email function, to attach and send files in an email. Filtering drivers in runtime log. Another feature implemented is the driver filter in the runtime log. It is now possible to filter a specific driver document by selecting the driver filter. In this way, facilitating the visualization of the logs of a certain driver document. New script edit fields. Several properties in the property list now have a button to open a script edit field. In this way, facilitating the addition and visualization of a script. New properties in the slider object. Some properties were added to the slider object, such as step frequency, which defines the step interval of the slider object, that is, If the minimum and maximum is from 0 to 100 and the step frequency property is set to 10, the pointer object slider will navigate 10 by 10. Another new property is the vertical alignment, which allows you to align the slider object in the top, bottom, or centered position, using the domain user in the application. It is now possible to set Windows domain user by SV security function. So, with this new feature, it is possible to run an application in runtime mode using Windows users. Inserting tag properties in the description field of alarms. Another resource implemented is the use of tag properties in the description field of an alarm. So, with this resource, it is possible to show, for example, the value of the tag with the text in the description property. Replacement of tags and alarms buttons. For a better view, the name of the buttons that navigate between tag configurations and tag alarms was added, setting the dynamic fill minimum and maximum limit. Now it's possible to define if the minimum and maximum of the dynamic filling of a geometric object will be based on the minimum and maximum of the tag, or defined directly in the property of the geometric object. New tag value property in bad quality. This property allows the user to specify how the tag value will be displayed in runtime mode if the tag quality is bad. Therefore, if enabled, the tag value in runtime mode will show the last tag value in good quality. And if the property is disabled, the tag value in runtime mode will show dashes. New screen property selected on the screen object. This new property allows the user to define a string tag or a ternary expression to indicate to the screen object the display of another screen in runtime mode. With this, it becomes much easier to create navigation between screens in the same object, bringing improvements in the application's performance. Rename function SVDB connection to SV database. Change the database library name to SV database. New Portuguese language available in the engineering environment. Another feature added was the Portuguese language in the engineering environment. Knowledge base. Now the ADISRA website has a new knowledge base, which covers a wide range of technical articles related to the use and functioning of ADISRA SmartView. Technical articles can be found in the categories or through the search engine. The knowledge base also has supplemental resources such as video tutorials, step-by-step guides, and hands-on examples. These features are intended to provide additional support to users by making learning and using ADISRA SmartView more accessible and effective. In addition to all the features mentioned in this video, the new version of ADISRA SmartView brings several performance improvements in opening and navigating between screens, screen objects, driver optimization, and much more. Thanks for watching until the end. Visit the ADISRA website for more information or contact the info@adisra.com or the sales team.